Hi everyone, welcome to class. Today we'll be talking about Texas stories. In this week's lesson, we'll be learning about Vietnamese culture in the state of Texas. Our art lesson will be to create a poem and fold a paper boat for refugees. The supplies you'll need are a pen, a sheet of paper, and tea or coffee. We'll use this to stain our paper. Step 1. Pause this video and watch the Vietnamese refugee video. I'll include the link above. This is a wonderful TED Talk given by Karina Hong, and it gives us a good understanding of what the refugee experience was like for Vietnamese people coming over in the mid and late 1970s. Now that you've watched the documentary, we have a better understanding and begin our project. Write a poem about your family in step 2. Fold your paper boat in step 3. And in step 4, we'll draw some texture on our boat and stain it with tea. Step 2. When a refugee leaves their country, most of the time they have to leave certain family behind. So we want to write a poem about how we feel regarding our family. In the first sentence, I'd like you to start with, being with my family is like, and fill in the blank. Our second sentence will begin, being without my family is like, blank. As you're planning what to write, use the inspiration of the Vietnamese experience, and let's include some water and ocean metaphors. In my first sentence, I'll finish by saying, being with family is like swimming with lifeguards all around me. In the second sentence, I'm reflecting on what it's like to be without my family. So I'll say, being without my family is like drifting in deep waters with no land in sight. Your poem will read differently than mine, but just take the time to reflect on what it's like being with your family and being without your family, and write what feels true to you. Once you've had time to think about your poem, take out your sheet of paper and begin to write that poem on the paper. In step 3, we'll fold our sheet of paper. You can flip your poem around on the back side, but first we need to create a square out of your rectangular piece of paper. I fold it from tip to tip and then take off the bottom section. A normal sheet of paper is rectangular shape, and we want this to be an even square with all sides being the same. Now that you have a square sheet of paper, fold it from top to bottom, putting a crease in the middle. Feel free to pause my video as well. Take that bottom section and fold to the middle, and the top section and fold to the middle. Now fold that in half. Your paper should look like mine. We're going to begin by folding triangle shapes on the very ends of the sheet of paper. Notice how mine are forming triangles on each end. After I've done that, I'll fold the paper in half once again, and you'll notice that your boat is practically already made. To give it a little more structure, we'll fold end to end, and then I'm making a small little fold on the very edges of the paper and the sides of the boat to give it a little more stability and shape. Once again, pause this video and re-watch to follow the steps. Step 4. Okay, that was a lot of folding. No more folding, I promise. Now we're just going to decorate the outside of the boat. I'm using broken lines to simulate wood grain. You can feel free to draw any kinds of pictures, perhaps use markers and color, any type of message that you want to deliver to a person who's a refugee, thinking about that experience the entire time while we're drawing. I'll do it on one side and then flip it over, texture on the other. One final touch that you may want to include in your project is to stain the paper. I'm using tea, but you could also use coffee. This will provide a brown wash on your paper and is just a nice way to finish, but if you've used color, that could be great too. I hope you enjoyed today's project, and hopefully it gave you a new tool that you can add to your artist toolkit. Today's class was sponsored by ArtSpark Texas, and you can find information about their nonprofit in the link below. Thanks. Don't forget, you can like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The link to donate can be found in the description below. Thank you to our ArtSpark funders: Texas Commission on the Arts, National Endowment for the Arts, Creative Forces, St. David's Foundation, Austin Public Library, Cultural Arts City of Austin, and the Donald D. Hamill Foundation.